Nairobi kuna mali ya mtu ni kugonga kitu na kumeza vitu. Nairobi kuna sponsor mtu. Nairobi kuna crush ya mtu. Nairobi kuna mali ya mtu ni kugonga kitu na kumeza vitu. Welcome everybody once again to Douglas Ebola TV, a station like no other, where we throw punches straight up in the face, no sugarcoating, no editorial restriction, giving you the real deal so you can deal with it. Now let's get on with it. Sweet baby Jesus! Jalan'go and the Boys Club. I'm sure you've heard about this. This is what is trending in Kenya right now. This celebrity radio presenter called Jalan'go and his Boys Club are trending right now for all the wrong reasons. Building up on prostitution, using women, people's girls, people's wives, people's daughters, all around the city in different apartments, taking them, abusing them, recording them, sexual acts and all kind of stuff, sharing pictures of their sexual escapades and what they've been up to. This is what is going on with your celebrities. I told you before, if you look back at my videos, these celebrities are not your leaders and these celebrities are not your friends. Neither are these celebrities people to look up to. They're not role models at all. This is yet another reason. And the reason why I'm going to talk about this topic, it's very serious. We know there's been lots of cases of child abuse. There's a lot of cases of women abuse. And I think that, you know, this issue needs to be looked at in this, given the seriousness that it deserves. I've not seen any women's organizations standing up and, you know, saying no to this kind of behavior or, you know, stepping up and talking about this. Because it's critically and very important that we talk about this group, the Boys Club, and what they've been up to and what they've been doing. And we all know that this is a bunch of people who just came together, their friends, and decided that, you know, this is going to be one of the agendas of the group is to bag as many women as possible, abuse as many women as possible, sleep with as many women as possible, impregnate as many women as possible, and, you know, just abuse them. And, you know, that is their fun. That's what they do. And some of these people, especially the ringleader, is someone who wants to vie to be a leader in Nairobi, wants to vie for a member of parliament seat. And this is what they're doing right now. So imagine when they get to that member of parliament seat, when they have more power, what are they going to be doing? So this is why I normally say your celebrities are not your leaders. Your celebrities are not your role models. You need to look somewhere else for your role models because most of these people are two-faced. They behave like this in public for PR, but behind the scene, they're just evil and sometimes absolutely stupid. So, you know, you have these celebrities. And the case of study today is Jalan'go and the Boys Club. So you have a bunch of, you know, Luo men. I don't know if all of them are Luos. And this is nothing about all Luo men, but this is a bunch of people who are actually putting your community down, misbehaving and, you know, mistreating women all over the place. They're calling themselves the Boys Club. You know, we have a bunch of these men who, you know, come together with a sole goal of becoming porn stars. That's what they want to do. They want to become porn stars. That's their sole goal. Using their celebrity status and friends to bag as many hoes as possible, okay? As many women as possible, as many people's wives as possible, as many people's daughters as possible, as many high school children as possible, as many university students as possible. A case of grown men acting like children or acting their childhood in an adult world. This is the issue right here, and this is very serious. These are grown men. And what are they doing? That is their sole mission. Some of them are married. Some of them are, you know, have girlfriends, but this is what they do. Ladies, this is what they do. When they talk about meeting with the boys on the weekend, you have people renting apartments in three locations. You're looking at Lavington, you're talking about Kilimani, you're talking about Langata. People renting apartments whereby they can use those apartments to take their women anytime they want without having been noticed and doing whatever they want so that they're not seen in hotels by other people. So they can be able to use this. This is what is happening. And this is what your celebrities are doing. And this is what they've been doing and they'll continue doing. And this is just a case in point whereby a leakage exposes the kind of like behavior that has been there, or the behavior that has been suspected. And such acts need to be condemned. They need to be condemned, not only by the industry, but these acts need to be condemned seriously by women organization, and also men's organizations used to come up and say, this is not the standard. This is not what we advocate for. This is pure pornography, recording women, naked women, sleeping with women, recording people when they don't even know, the naked pictures and all that. This is pornography. And the boys club is a porn star club. I guess they want to be porn stars. These are porn stars for real. This is what they do. Their sole mission and agenda is to bag as many hoes as possible, and mistreat and use and abuse women and other people's children. That's what they're doing. And something came up, especially when I'm looking at their ringleader, and there's this questions that come about from this group. You wonder what is wrong with these individuals, what is going through their mind. And I'm going to touch on a few issues that I'll help me engage here. Let us understand. I might not touch on everything, but please let me understand. Is it a case of just cultural defiance or cultural deviance, whereby your culture is not teaching you anything moral, that is teaching you just to be moral, and you think like bugging as many women as possible is a title. You think that is justification. You think that your celebrity status allows you to do this, or you think that I can use this to use and abuse. Is it a case of a cultural deviance that you learn this from your culture? Yeah. Is it a case of late puberty? Is it a case of late maturity, whereby you find yourself, you're in a grown man's body, but you're still childish in the head now? You think that you're trying to live what you could have been doing when you were 17 years old. That's what you're doing in your late 30s, in your late 40s. Is it a case of late puberty? Is it a case of new money? Is it a case of individuals just getting money at a later age in their lives, and now they're trying to relieve what they would have been doing when they were 17 or 18, putting loudspeakers in their cars, booming music, and you're in your late 30s and 40s, getting some money, and now thinking that, okay, maybe this is my opportunity now to get to revenge and get all the women that I wanted to and sleep with all the women that I could. Is it a case of new money that is disturbing you, that you can't, you don't know how this money is confusing you and making you do things that you wouldn't have done if you had this money earlier? Is it a case of low self-esteem? There are individuals who would never have a chance with certain women, especially if they didn't have money, if they didn't have clout, if they didn't have certain status. And once they get this kind of money, they tend to use that to boost their low self-esteem. You really don't have to sleep with too many women for you to prove any point. No, that is not being manly at all. That is not being manly at all. It's not allowed. It's not being manly at all. But some people have so much low self-esteem that this is what they do, that they think that now I have money, I can sleep with as many women. That shows that I'm so manly and I'm so wanted. No, it shows you're a fool. You're an idiot. And that's what the boys club is a bunch of fucking idiots. That's what they are. It's a case of, is it a case of, there's this thing called Luopian. I know most of you know what Luopian is. They say Ujaluo Nigarama, and this does not apply to all Luos. I know upstanding Luo men who I respect a lot, but there's a segment amongst you who have this Luopian tendency and attitude to behave in funny ways. And these Luopian tendencies are, there's a myth about this Luopian, and this is what they believe, that this is what they believe, that Luos are Europeans. You see, first of all, there's a problem. When you start comparing yourself as a European and you're an African who lives in Africa, that means you're trying to move yourself away from your African roots and your African culture, and you're trying to be something you're not. So this whole concept of Luopian, you're supposed to be Luo, just Luo, not Luopian. Don't compare yourself to the white man. That shows inferiority complex and trying to imitate the words and the likeness and the behavior and the mannerisms of the white man. No. That shows inferiority complex. Behave like an African with African cultural values of decency. Then you will be respected. Then another myth is that they know English better, that they're the only ones who know English better. These are the myths that they have, and all these myths have been debunked. Only a few people, 1 or 2, 3, 4, can have a good intellect of English. And it doesn't mean they're the only ones. There are other communities who speak English quite well and quite fluently, but they don't brag and go out there and do that. Because some of these myths and some of these European tendencies tend to affect you, and people have high expectations of which you can't even meet. So please, try to be humble, sit down. They're grown-ups in the room. Another myth is, that they tend to be the most romantic, which is also not true. That they are the most well-dressed people in Kenya, which is not true. That they're the only professionals in Kenya, which is not true. That they're the women's magnets, which is not true. That they're the most modern and cultured, which is not true. That they treat women better than other communities, which is not true. That they are Nigerians of Kenya. You see, this is how they compare themselves. They compare themselves as Nigerians of Kenya. This segment of these deviant Luopians, these people messing up the whole community's name, because not all Luos behave the way they behave. But this group over here is really messing up your community with their funny habits and their Luopian tendencies of pretense and trying to be like other people that they're not. And they're putting up very high expectations on their community that most of the Luos cannot even meet those expectations. Majority of them, in fact, even maybe 5% can meet those expectations. And we are talking about they are disciplined and principled. That is another misconception and a myth about Luopian. So all these myths have been debunked. All communities are equal. All individuals are equal. We have smart individuals in every community. We have people who are well-mannered and well-cultured and appreciate their African culture in all communities. It's not just these Luopian tendencies. And this is one of the cases. Is it that case of Luopianism that is making them behave this way? Because the Boys Club needs to be investigated seriously for... I won't be surprised if there's child abuse with these people. I will not be surprised if there's child abuse, because at this level, this boy club has gone on another level of misbehavior, sort of like abusing women. They need to be investigated. If there is any case of child abuse, they need to be taken to court and to be prosecuted, because this is serious. You can't just be playing around abusing women. You're not a porn star. Are you porn stars? Because you're sure acting like one. Is it a case also of sudden access to the inaccessible? This is what I was talking about. When you have grown-ass men, individuals, that they never had access to anything, but now they have titles and a little bit of money, now they think they can access everything and misbehave. Like I said, is it a case of the sudden access to the inaccessible? And this is what I'm talking about. People who never had access to women because of certain issues. They never had a title, they never had some money, and all of a sudden they land on some money and a title and a little bit of celebrity, and they think, oh, this is my opportunity to go and abuse women because I never had these opportunities. So these are the questions we're asking. What's wrong with this boys club? What's wrong with this gentleman, this celebrity misbehaving with his boys club and going out of his way, misbehaving like a fool, and sort of like just abusing his privilege? As a celebrity, you are celebrated. So the question is, what are we celebrating about you? Are we celebrating your womanizing habits? Are we celebrating your cheating from your wife? Are we celebrating molestation and abuse of women? Is that what we're trying to celebrate? No, please. Can you grow up? Can you grow up and let's start celebrating something more than what we've been seeing and what we are seeing right now? Another case, is it a case of running away from adulthood and responsibility? At times, there are grown men who don't want any responsibility, and they can't take the responsibilities of adulthood, and just behaving like an adult, acting like an adult, and just carrying yourself with certain demeanor and being able to take responsibilities and influence. Some people just want to be careless. They just want to be free and just do everything, even if they're adults. They're behaving like children in adult clothes, So is it a case of running away from adulthood and responsibility? Another question, is it a case of just mental illness? Because we know people who are serial women abusers. This could be a mental illness, and I'm really, really, really hoping that this gentleman, this Kenyan celebrity, this Jalan'go, and this boys club, I hope these people can actually go and see a shrink go see someone to check on their mental illness, because what they've been doing it's not right. What they've been doing is a sickness, and this sickness has to be healed. These people need help. And let me tell you, what I know is that people who have this kind of behavior, they never change unless they get help. And this kind of behavior is very detrimental and damaging, not only to your personal life, but also to your career, and also the people around you and your connections and the people who associate with you. Now, every woman who's seen on the pictures with you, everybody will assume that you slept with them, or you abused them, or they were abused. Every man that sees their wife next to you in a picture somewhere, they'll think that their wives have been cheating, because this is what you do. And this is what will be your downfall, because this is very, very terrible and bad behavior. And you know what? I am very, very serious about this. And I really want Kenyans to be serious about this, and the authorities to be serious about this. Individuals like this need to be questioned, because we need to find out what are they up to. This is what we know right now. What have they been doing? What have they been hiding that's even detrimental or dangerous? This is a serious case of women abuse, and we shall not tolerate it. As upstanding men of Kenya, we shall not tolerate this. And this childish behavior by Jalan'go and the Boys Club will never be tolerated ever in Kenya. And we have to condemn it with the biggest force that we can. This is Douglas Ebola TV. Catch me on Douglas Ebola TV. Catch me on YouTube. Catch me on YouTube. Catch me on Instagram. Let's discuss. Let's debate. This is controversial. I don't have all the answers, but I do know that we need to do something about this. This is wrong, and we shall not stand for this as the men of Kenya. Goodbye.